Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Today we have a 2010 Pontiac G6. This video is going to highlight taking out the control arms. I will be putting together another video that shows the oil pan removal and the transmission line seal replacement.
So you can see that this rubber is actually separated. So we've got a new one for this side. And if we just go up here, you can see that moving. That upper sway bar link is no good. So this side's got some pretty difficult challenges with the control arm and the sway bar link. So today on What's Next Garage, we're doing lower control arm bushings, we're doing sway bar links, and we're doing the oil pan gasket. Stick around, here we go. So we're gonna start by taking off the wheels, and I think I'm gonna pull the control arms off first because the control arms then will clear the way for the motor mounts to be able to come off. So having those control arms out of the way will potentially help. Look at where they put this bolt to try and get at. Right, I think right in here, yeah, right in here is the motor mount, and this is all welded, so, why would they do that? I mean, that's stupid. They do a really freaking awesome job on this one. So this is just screwed into there, and then these bolts hold this in place, so when you do the control arm bushings, you actually replace this whole piece. So we'll take out the lower control arm, and it should get us closer to our oil pan work up in there.
This bolt actually goes through a groove on the ball joint stem, retaining it in place. It's actually really nice. I like it better than the tapered style.
We'll get these now loose, because this is going to start to bind in here now, right? Because it wants to. I could probably go in and split this a little bit. So it's really pretty cool is that bolt is up in there, back in here, right? And I have to push that thing back some more. So you just catch a glimpse of it there. That's really nice. Ha. So I'm just gonna get a long punch and just try and work that back in there so that it comes out. I'm just kind of hoping that they made accommodations to get it out of there, or at least. So let's pull this piece out of here and see what we get. Okay.
As I started taking off all of this plastic guarding, I started to realize that there's a little bit more involved to taking these control arms off than just two bolts.
And we're doing all of this so we can see what's behind this motor mount here. Well, that's kind of sweet that they're doing it for us. That was right in my face. That was awesome. It's right there. See how dumb that is? It's right there. That really is stupid that they would do that. So that's the motor mount anyway I have to take out. I have to take that motor mount out to get at the oil pan, which from this position, it's not bad anymore, right? When you get all the stuff out of the way. And it always sounds worse than it really is, right? Oh, you got to take the motor mounts out. Well, big deal. So I'm going to the other side to do the same thing, and then we'll bring the car down again and jack the engine up. So the driver's side is just a touch different. You don't have just the bolts on top, or the nuts on top. You actually have bolts because you have the tranny mount here. Got it, like a ninja, like a G6 ninja, and then we'll blast them out of there. So now we're going to remove this motor mount from this side And we're just gonna use a 15 millimeter and wrap these out. Okay, and then we can just pull this guy out of there and lift the motor mount out. Then we can get the lower control arm bolt out. So that comes out easy enough. So we're gonna do the same thing, only these are positioned differently. We gotta take out that one. I think everything, yeah, they're somewhat accessible from down here. So you have to go in right here on this crease, up, and then bring it over. And then look at that, there she is. Let's get a, and then it'll stay there. There we go. And that guy was up there. It's also connected to the bracket that holds the bearing for the jack shaft. Okay, so you can see where I am right there. So we just gotta make sure that guy stays on there. And then give it a little, there we go. Yeah, it loosened up nice. That's good. They put this hole in there, but it doesn't line up. Dang them. Dang it. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, wrong way.
I'll go into more detail about supporting the engine from the top during the oil pan removal video. I used a large jack stand just to support the control arm and the suspension assembly, just in case there was tension on there when I took the bolts out.
Yeah, and you see this? This is what I'm talking about, where the bolt goes through. So to get that stuff out of there, you gotta pull that motor mount out. And I have to do the oil pan, so I needed that motor mount out anyway. Kind of still a pain in the rear end. Getting that bolt out of there certainly is easy with the motor mount out of the way. We got a big hole here. We'll just put a impact in there and blast that out of there. The passenger side motor mount is more difficult than the driver's side for sure. All right, so we're gonna pull this out of here. I think that's a 14 millimeter. I'll try and do it with this, but I don't think this will loosen that up. Well, we'll see. Oh, look at that. It did. Which is really nice because, yeah, this is all broke. I cannot even move that one with my hand. Whereas this one I can move all over the place. Oh, see, I could probably push this out too. Oh yeah. So this guy's all broken off in there. You can see, and if I tried harder, yeah, see, I could get this to come out just like that. And that should not come out of there. And that looks like it's been bad for a while. And with one that's really in there, you can't, there's no budge in that. So that one was bad. This was definitely bad. All right, good. So if I look at they sent me the wrong bushings, but these bushings aren't bad. I don't see anything wrong with them. Yeah, they're the same and they're not bad. So I'm not gonna replace them. There's nothing wrong with them. And we'll do a test. So let me go set up the test. So my test is having that locked in there and then moving that. Right, that's still solid in there. And I'm happy with that one. We're good.
When it's time to reinstall the lower control arm, put the ball joint stem in position first, and then bring the control arm up into position.
Alright, so I'm just going ahead and I'm putting these bolts in here. These actually had nuts on them. Oops, there goes one. So it's up there, you just gotta kind of futz around with it a little bit. I got one that was really nice. I got one that's kind of being a little bit stubborn. Okay, there we go. So we'll rack these up. Get this. We could tighten these mounts now, but I'm not gonna tighten the bushing bolt. So I'm gonna leave that loose. We're gonna have to throw a little bit of preload on that. Let me loosen that up. Let me make sure that this is loose. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's loose. So this inner will spin when I raise that. And then same will happen over here because I'm not all the way tight on this side either. So we're gonna go up. So you can see in the back, I have that jack stand. So that jack stand is just keeping the back from tipping off the lift when I go to put some compression on here. But I'm raising the suspension on this, or I'm compressing the suspension so that I can tighten everything up a little bit like horizontal, maybe a little less horizontal on my control arm, making sure my axle's in a good position. And then I'm just gonna tighten those up. You could give us a little bit more life on there.
If you're doing lower control arm bushings and stabilizer links, do the stabilizer links before you put the lower control arms in position. Well, that's it for the lower control arms and stabilizer links. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. That way when I put up the 2010 Pontiac G6 oil pan removal video, you won't miss it. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you watching. And as always, have a great day.